how we feeling, Habs fans? Not a great game. And before any of you say anything, I'm not rooting for the Knights. I'm just gonna put on the hat of whatever team wins the game that we're talking about. I'm biased Jets fan here. I don't really care. Both of these teams crushed my hopes and dreams. The Habs this year and the Knights in the Western Conference Final not too long ago. So here I am, a Jets fan, watching these two teams. Whatever one of these teams wins is the team that I'm going to be rooting for. So this is a very weird series to find myself watching as a fan of hockey. And honestly, a very weird game too. Because I'm not going to lie, I actually thought the Montreal Canadiens were going to come back and win this game. And it wasn't because I thought that the Vegas Golden Knights were playing a bad game. I actually thought Vegas was the much better opponent. But I just thought that Montreal just had a little bit of a spark to their game in the first period. And that first period, in my opinion, was a pretty good first period for the Montreal Canadiens and for the Vegas Golden Knights. Shots were 9-12 in favor for the Montreal Canadiens. Shea Theodore obviously able to put away that rocket off of the draw from McNabb and Stevenson, And it was a great screen in front, too, by Stone. Not a lot of chances for Carey Price there to get into position and get that goal and really, be in his best spot to get that goal and stop it. So I don't put a lot of responsibility there on Carey Price. But other than that, I thought Montreal played a pretty good first period. I really did. And, they out-hit Montreal. But I will say one thing. Vegas was slow. That's the one thing where, Montreal looked good. Vegas fans, I know what you're already thinking. Vegas did look slow. But you guys turned it on almost immediately. About the 10-minute mark, I would say, in that first period, you guys just turned it on. The hits started piling up for Vegas, and Montreal started to look a little bit, cocky up until Vegas started to really put back and hit on them. And Montreal kind of, went back into their place a little bit. They weren't as aggressive. They weren't as physical, I thought, throughout the rest of the game as they were in that really first start of that first period. They weren't, not saying they weren't physical the entire game. They were. The hits in this game were quite high for both clubs. The hits in total being 52-44 in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. So, at the end of the day, the Montreal Canadiens did out-hit the Vegas Golden Knights. Yet, I still thought that the momentum swinging hits, a lot of the big physicality, and a lot of the moments that kind of matter to be physical, kind of went in the favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Montreal really wasn't able to do a lot in front of the net defensively tonight, and you saw that from the first period all the way to the end of the game. And you saw that in the Mark Stone Mark Stone being able to come in and make a very good screen there, and that's kind of what we saw a lot throughout this game. A lot of action for Carey Price tonight, and let's just get this out of the way. In my opinion, both goaltenders were phenomenal tonight. I know that there were 4 goals allowed on Carey tonight, but I really don't blame a lot on Carey, maybe other than that McNabb goal, the Janmark goal, not McNabb, but other than that goal, I think that other than that, Carey Price played a pretty good game. I think what really failed the Montreal Canadiens tonight was their speed, and I think their defense. In my opinion, Ben Sherratt had a really bad night. Although Benny made some good plays here down the stretch, he was able to make a good chase-up play after I believe the Vegas player was coming off that short rush with about 10 minutes left in the third period there. I didn't write down the exact moment of that play. I should have, but he made a good play there, forced the Vegas player around the net, didn't get a good look on that semi-break, and that was a big play for them, only being down, I believe, 3-1 at the time, with them being able to get a little bit of pressure. But honestly, in the midst of all of that, the third period was a complete collapse. We could skip the second period completely and just talk about the third, because in reality what matters is you being able to score goals and you being able to generate the offense and just play a good two-way game. The Habs have been able to do that exceptionally well the last 7 games, because they've won all their last 7 games. They haven't even trailed in their last 7 games. The Montreal Canadiens have been dominant in the North Division, coming out from that first round of the Leafs, sweeping the Jets, and now here they are against a real tough opponent, an opponent that has been playing top-tier Stanley Cup competitors the entire playoffs, not having to deal with a mediocre Jets team that didn't really deserve to be there. And now you see kind of what Montreal is going to have to do better. Montreal is going to have to kind of hone in their skills and get their depth, not only playing good physically, but get some speed in there too. Cole Caufield getting a goal tonight was great. His first playoff goal, and that's exactly what you need to see from that guy. I said this in the Jets series, recap, review, preview, everything for the Jets and for the Habs. A team like the Habs that doesn't have as much upfront talent when you compare it to Vegas. I'm not talking about there being a lack of talent on Montreal. I'm talking about comparing stars. Vegas, without a doubt, has way more star, face of the franchise type players right now currently than what you do in Montreal. Yes, you have Caufield, Kotkaniemi, Tyler Toffoli's had a great year for you. Philip Deneau has been great, but these guys aren't absolute stars in the league. Not compared to a Mark Stone, not compared to a Pat Prairie. I know Habs fans are going to be cringing on that one a little bit, but nonetheless, the Habs that's kind of where I felt like they lacked a bit tonight. And it's nothing on their part because they don't have that, star power, X factor, as I like to call it. Because the Habs depth tonight didn't show up, and they don't have a lot of stars to really carry and pick up the slack. Pardon the pun, because Carey Price does pick up the slack a lot of the night for you guys. But point being, when you look at tonight and you look at the way Shea Theodore was able to play, Shea Theodore was absolutely dominant the entire game. Not only did he play a great first period, a great defensive period as well at times, he was also able to make the good plays at the right time offensively. We know how good Shea Theodore is offensively already. He's probably one of the best offensive players in the NHL for a defenseman, and he's just been really good and only getting better. And the fact that Anaheim, I don't even want to talk about that, man. Like, what a joke on Anaheim giving that guy up. Vegas, you lucked into another player there, and you deserved him there because Anaheim was stupid for giving that type of guy up. And he showed in this game why. Absolute beast on the blue line. That drop pass fake to Martinez on the second goal in the second period was beautiful. One of the nicest goals I've seen scored from a defenseman in a long time. Loved Shea Theodore this game, and he played a great game. And the Montreal Canadiens at times played a good game too. The only problem was the neutral zone. And this is exactly, and you know what? Jets fans watching this video right now, does this sound familiar? Dumping and chasing 90% of the time is not how you're going to win a series, Montreal. It's as simple as that. And I know you guys weren't doing well in the neutral zone. Vegas owned you there, and they were very, very good and quick there. But that doesn't mean you resort to dump and chase. Dump and chase is the most ineffective style of hockey, I feel like, in the modern-day NHL, especially when you have nothing else going. I'm just going to chip the puck in and hope that I can get there. It was a lot of that, especially in the third period when they weren't able to get anything through that neutral zone. And that's going to kill you. And if you play like that, I'm not calling a series early, but if you continuously play like that, you will lose in 4. You got to be able to play a more dynamic game than just dump and chase. Do you want to know why I know that? That's all the Jets did against you, and you swept us. The Jets did that all regular season, and they failed miserably at times. You cannot dump and chase and rely on that to be your number one option when nothing else is working and have nothing else thrown in there other than just dumping the puck once you get past the center line. It doesn't work. It's not effective. And 90% of the time, you're not even going to get that possession back. You're just dumping it, giving it, turning it over, and then you got to go back on the defensive end of the ice. So what's the point of it? You're just turning the puck over consistently for no point really, hoping you might generate a 10% chance on getting that puck back and generating a play and throwing it up to the blue line and actually setting up a little bit. Other than that, you're giving the puck up, and you can't do that in the playoffs to win, especially against a team like Vegas. Vegas will destroy you in the neutral zone, as we saw tonight. Their defense is fast. They've got experience. They've got the number one shot blocker in the NHL, Martinez, from this season, who was phenomenal in this game and made a lot of key blocks. Even though they stung, he gets down and makes those plays. Now, Weber was able to make some good plays tonight too, but the defense as a whole for the Habs side of things was sloppy compared to where the Knights were very polished and they were very dynamic. They were able to jump in on the rush well. They were able to move the puck exceptionally well through the neutral zone, and that's kind of where the Habs game died. It wasn't that the Habs played a bad game. It wasn't a complete enough game to win against a team like Vegas. And I don't think you should be panicking yet because one, Carey Price is Carey Price, and although Marc-Andre Fleury and Carey Price were absolutely phenomenal tonight, Marc-Andre Fleury had a great game, as he's been having all season and in the playoffs as well. But I think for this to go the distance, if it even has a chance still, and I think it still does, I think the Habs are going to need to not only polish their defense, but play a faster game where they can move the puck. It doesn't matter how you're moving it, if you're passing it, but getting the puck through the neutral zone with possession is going to be key for the Habs if they want to have success to be able to make this series go longer than 4 or 5 games. Really, they will. And the reason for that is because Vegas is just too good in the neutral zone to give them opportunities where they can continuously take that puck by turning it over on a dump and chase, rushing it back up in your own end, and then you have to play defense. Because tonight, your defense didn't cut it for the Habs side of things, and that's another reason why they were able to put 4 goals up on you. When you look at all of these goals that were scored, especially the one from Janmark and the first goal scored from Theodore, a lot of that was off of the draw. And when you have goals being scored off of the draw, you need to do better adjustment. You need to make sure that your players are on their guys right after that puck hits the ice, and that you know they're clearing the crease, and that you have an idea of what's their surroundings. You can't allow them to be able to set up that quickly and get a shot off more than once in a game and not have an answer for it, because both goals were scored in different ways. One was a bomb with a potential tip that Mark Stone just missed in the first goal, and the second one was a perfect slap pass to Janmark, who found the open puck behind Price and was able to put that in. If you can maintain that crease and clear it and keep those guys out, I know not every bounce is going to go your way, but you have a better chance of being able to limit those chances, those garbage goals as I like to call them, from from going in. And the Habs just weren't able to do that tonight. They weren't fast enough to succeed, and Vegas was. I think this series still has a lot of potential to go the distance. I think this was just a really big wake-up call for the Habs. There was a lot of good tonight, but a lot of bad and a lot of sloppiness. So for the Habs to be able to make this series go longer and have a better chance on just being an overall more better team and having a better odds on going into the next game, I think what they need to do, 3 things they need to do for next game to be better. 1, you're going to need to have better defense all-around play. It just wasn't enough tonight. It was very bad at times, especially in the second and third. You got to make your defense play better. You guys have to step up like that. Number 2, if your depth isn't going to be able to step up with speed, they need to step up defensively and maybe get some shorthanded looks and stuff like that. If you're not going to be able to score goals as much when you're on 5-on-5, looking for any type of way to score goals is going to be good. Joel Armia is an absolute beast on that penalty kill, so if you can use him effectively and get some goals from him, that could be really good. Scoring when you're not supposed to score could be a huge key for the Habs, because whoever scores the most in this game is going to win. That's how hockey works. That's how sports works, and you got to be able to get those goals in, and 1 goal from Caufield for his first isn't enough to get you a win in game 1. The third thing they're going to need to do is just overall play with more speed and don't worry about, the physicality as much. They were able to hit a lot tonight, but a lot of those hits were nothing hits, I like to call them. If they can get their speed up, not so much worry about laying the body, but just play their game properly, roll out the depth evenly, and have the depth play fast, I think they have a better chance at, trying to go head-to-head with the Knights. Because if you go head-to-head with the Knights, you might beat them physically at times, but when you go at skill, you won't be able to beat them with the Habs roster. You got to be able to play your game properly, and the Habs didn't do that. 3 things for the Knights to be able to do better to continue to win in game 2. Obviously, just do everything you did tonight. That, in my opinion, the Knights were almost played a perfect game at times. Obviously, they were a little bit slow in that first period, like I said, but once they settled into their game after about that 10-minute mark, they owned the game, really. They owned the neutral zone, they owned the offensive zone, and they kind of owned Carey Price's crease for most of the night. They had a lot of presence in front, and the Habs just weren't able to do a lot there. So I think that if you're able to just maintain that, Vegas, keep up what you're doing, and just hope that you can break through the Habs that way, and the Habs don't have an answer for you when it comes to being able to crash the crease and the goals you're able to score from your stars in that area. I think that's your best chance of winning the series. But let me know your thoughts, Vegas fans and Habs fans. What were your thoughts on Game 1? What are your thoughts going into the rest of this series after Game 1? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, make sure to subscribe regardless of the team you root for. We hate no clubs here. I might be a Giants I'm not a Giants fan. The Giants are not even that good of a team, and this is not an NFL channel. Point being, I'm a fan of the Jets, not the NFL team, and I am a very biased fan, but I don't hate anybody. And I'm stumbling here at the intro, but I can't even talk anymore. My brain is scattered from the day that I've had. All that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Peace, love, and positivity to all you beautiful people out there, regardless to where you are in the world. Hope you're having a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel, turn on notifications, and bye-bye.